Hello again. We've been doing this online schooling now for almost a month. Can you believe it? What a long time. We didn't know it was going to last this long, did we? So I hope you're all doing okay today on this in between, in the middle of the week. And I know some of you might be feeling that you have a lot of work. Some of you are keeping up with it really well. It's just really hard sometimes and some days to get what we need done, isn't it? Today I'm going to talk about that a little bit because I've been feeling some of that as well. Some of you have a lot of people in your home. Maybe you have siblings and they are kind of bothersome sometimes, but some of you are having fun with them too. It's nice to be able to go and play outside with some of your brothers or sisters or play video games and stuff. I'm in the house just with my husband and we're going on walks every day. And we both are working, me with school and he's doing his work in his office, so we do keep busy every day. But I'm also doing some fun things in my other spare time that I have. One is I'm making quilts for my grandkids. And so this is one that I'm working on right now, and I just had to use material that I had in the house. So I'm just figuring out what colors they like and putting that together and sewing that way. So you know, it's good that I have time to do that. But one thing that's happened that I just want to talk about today, and some of you who sew maybe know this, and if you don't ever sew, I'm just going to kind of show you. And that is, I had some spools of thread to use, and they're brand new, all sealed. And the trouble with new thread is, I think maybe you can see this little piece right here. Can you see that? And that looks like that might be the beginning of this spool of thread. However, when I pull on it, I realize it's stuck. This is really the end. This is the last part. Well, I can't start with that. I can't thread my needle on my sewing machine with this. So now I have to figure out where is the beginning of this thread so that I can use it. And I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. So this is a spool that I haven't used yet. I did figure it out on the other one that I have on my sewing machine now. But when I was trying to figure this out, I was going crazy. I would come and try and look at it, and I peeled this paper off and tried to find the beginning of this thread so that I could keep sewing these quilts for my granddaughter. And I was so frustrated, like after an hour of trying it and then walking away and coming back and trying it, I was so frustrated, I just wanted to quit. I just thought, forget it, I am not gonna sew, I'm just gonna quit, because that's how I felt inside, like I was so frustrated and I wanted to quit. And my guess is that some of you might feel that way on some days when you have a whole lot of emails or you have a whole lot of assignments, and maybe some of the assignments are hard and you don't know what you're supposed to do. And what we feel inside then is we just want to quit. We want to run away and go do something that we know how to do, like whatever it is for you guys, play a video game or go just do whatever and quit. Well, I knew I didn't want to quit, and I know you guys can't quit your schoolwork either. So here's the solution I came up with. When I feel like quitting, I have to think, okay, what am I going to do? Who can I call? And I thought of my mom. My mom is wonderful. She sewed me clothes when I was young, and she still, right now, she's sewing face masks. And she lives in Michigan, but I knew I could call her and say, hey, I've got this spool of thread, and I cannot find the beginning of it. I am so frustrated. I just want to quit. What shall I do? Well, my mom did what she always does, even when I was little, and that is, first of all, she listened to me. And she said, this was her first response, oh, I know just what that's like. I have gotten a spool of thread like that too, and I can't find the end. That is so frustrating. Well, that was good to know. It wasn't just me who was not figuring this out. My mom also has had that problem, and she's a good sewer. So then she gave me what her solution is, and that is to just take a scissors and right at the top here, or maybe I'll go this way, just take it and just cut a little bit and make the start of it. I don't know if I can do that while I'm talking to you. I think I did. Okay, so now here, whoop, that broke away, so that's not so good. Let's see once. One of these is going to work. There, this one worked. Now I've got the start to my new spool of thread. And she said to me, now you might get some loose pieces like that, or after a while, if it kind of goes the wrong way and you have to restart it again, just do that again, and then you'll be all set to go. Well, that was wonderful, because then I could keep sewing the quilt. But here's what I want you to hear in this little devotional. I want to have you hear a couple things. When I got frustrated, I had to decide, do I quit or do I figure out how to carry on? And so I called the one person who I knew would listen to me and who loves me and I knew would want to help and have an answer to my problem. So that's first. Ask for some help. Second, my mom responded in a way that I think is really good, and I know your teachers or hopefully your parents too can respond like this, and that's with empathy. Empathy is kind of like, you know, that person heard your problem and they wanted to understand it and they wanted to help. So that's kind of what empathy is. And then third, she told me a solution. She told me how she would fix the problem and gave me advice on how to do that. So for you guys, when you're doing your schoolwork, I want you to think of that. If you feel really, really frustrated, think about who you can ask for help, who can listen to you well and understand your problem and have empathy, meaning they listen to you well and understand, and then try to help you have a solution. So you have to be ready to listen for that solution as well so that you can keep going. So maybe you just have to say, help, I want to quit, and hopefully someone can be around who can help you that way. Us teachers are around, so you can always communicate with us. Well, I want to think of that with a Bible verse as well, because I love this Bible verse because I memorized it with my kids, and we would do actions. And that is Philippians 4, verse 6 and 7. And it goes like this. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Now, those are the actions. We usually did them standing up and made them really big actions. But that helps me to remember that verse. Philippians 4, verse 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends, that means it goes above all understanding, guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. I learned that as a way to say Jesus, like where the nails went into his hands. So when I say that verse, it also helps me. If my mom's not around, that I can call her, we can remember these verses from the Bible to help us to calm ourselves down sometimes, to remember that, you know what? God does promise us that in the Bible, that we can go to him, and that peace that goes beyond our understanding, transcends our understanding, will guard our hearts and our minds in Christ Jesus. And that's a huge comfort for us, especially during this time. So, what I want you to do for this devotion, you've been doing it really well, and that is just respond. You can respond about that verse. You can respond about something that's helped you get through this time. However, actually, you want to respond today is completely fine. So keep going, guys. You're doing great work, and I'm just really proud of you. And we keep praying for you every day. Bye-bye.